Recording. Okay. So we'll jump over directly to that slide because time is less with us. Okay, we'll start with the problems of AI. Okay, so uh, last time we have seen the problems of AI. So artificial intelligence is also facing a lot of issues, and the first one is a lack of technical knowledge. So obviously there are very few people, few expertise who have been knowing this knowledge. Also, the industries who want to adopt this technology are also very new in this field. Then the price factor, because artificial intelligence is quite a costly affair, and henceforth medium size and small size industries are a little bit on the back foot whether to go for AI or not. So, and even the big firms also struggles like Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. All these are adopting and implementing AI technologies, but it is costly. Then the data acquisition and storage as one of the biggest issue with the artificial intelligence is about the data acquisition and storage, because huge amount of data has been acquired from a lot of sensors, and then where to store it and how to deal with it. And also when you're dealing with a lot of noise in the data, then it becomes really hard to analyze and store the data. Rare and expensive workforce, as I said, that there are very less expertise and hence they are very expensive, and they are also very rare in the current marketplace. And henceforth the small and medium sized industries fall short of a tight budget to bring these manpower required to build up the projects. Responsibility, it has been there is always an issue of responsibility, as if there is a malfunctioning of any equipments that has been based on AI, then it becomes really hard to go for the hardware malfunctioning. And henceforth, earlier it was easier to find out the fault from where it has come, like user, developer, or manufacturer. But the issue related with AI becomes difficult. Then there is also an ethical challenge for artificial intelligence. Lack of computational speed is also one of the most important factor, because we are going to get or achieve the high speed computation only on the high end processors. So because of that, the infrastructure cost will go up, and the smaller and medium industries will hamper as far as the adoption of AI technology is concerned. And then legal challenge, one of the biggest artificial intelligence problems that developer faces in this real world. Then AI myths and expectations. So obviously there are a lot of myths, like if AI enters into the market, the humans jobs will be replaced by AI, and that is the expectations. Actually the expectations and the actual potential also varies from each other. And then difficulty of assessing vendors also, because there will be two types of vendors: those who are adopting AI and those who are not adopting AI. So the AI companies, in order to deal with non-AI companies, will become they will face a lot of problems. So these are some of the problems that we can face while implementing AI. Now we'll move towards the actual point, what earlier we have said about the agents. So the agents are nothing but actually the intelligent agents, and the agent actually are based on the actions. So the actions, they're based on the actions taken in the environment. That is what we have seen in the agent. Now you can see the intelligent agent is having some block diagrams which is having environments. So the input is taken from the environments by sensors. Then there will be feature extractions. Then there will be an inference engine in between where the learning model will be implemented. And then the action will be taken based on with the help of actuators based on the learning model, which will be given back to the environment. This is what the overall idea about intelligent agent is concerned. So we have already seen some of the features of agent, like they are intelligent, they are based on actions in the environment. So now we are a little bit going into the depth about these intelligent agents and types of intelligent agents. So it is an agent is a computer system with autonomous action in some environment. It may be as simply called as an agent. It's actually a program that gathers informations or performs some other services without your immediate presence or some regular schedule. So obviously agent does not require you to be there. It can grab the information from the environment, will extract the features, it will go to the learning model, and from there the actuator will come into the action, which will be again sent back to the environment. So this is how it will take place. There is no requirement of your immediate presence. That is what the advantage of intelligent agent is. It is also a component of a software or a hardware that it perceives and it acts autonomously in the open and dynamic environment, learning and cooperating with other agents, the same user, to offer a benefit to their users. So obviously there will be few agents which can be working out together, and as the result, the results will be shared with the other agents also. So that, like, there will be different agents that can be working together. That's what it does mean. Now, an agent is sometimes called as bot. So you might have heard about bot, which you're having the headphones as a bot nowadays. So they are called as bot. It's like a short of a robot. It's a short form for robot. It is called as bot. So the agents are mostly called as bot also. The agents are the software entities that encapsulate number of attributes, including autonomy, mobility, sociability, reactivity, and proactivity amongst the others. So they are the software entities that encapsulate number of attributes. So the attributes are this, but mostly it encapsulate number of attributes. So they are the software entities which encapsulate number of attributes. Agents may be reactive, deliberative, or hybrid. This we are going to see in detail, that how it is reactive, how it acts as deliberative, and how it acts as a hybrid. Implicit is the agent construct is requirement for sophisticated reasoning ability. So implicit is a concept actually which is required in the agent to be constructed for the sophisticated reasoning ability. Because if you have this ability with yourself, the agent will be having good reasoning, and it can work properly in the environment. An agent is anything that can be viewed or perceived its environment through sensors and acting upon environment through actuators. So obviously, if you look at this block diagram, can we come to know that the things which are taken by the agent through the sensors are called as percepts, and then the agent will do the actions and will give it back to the environment through the actuators. So the actuators, you can see that it's having an hands and legs and arms and all those things. So actuators is nothing but the things which has been through the hardware, because it will be an action. So the action will require some kind of hardware, but the information that has been taken or acquired from the environment by the sensor will be in the form of softwares, and then the agents will act as an action to the environment with the help of actuators. So this is how the agents and environments are correlated with each other. A sensor measures some aspect of environment in the form that can be used as an input by an agent. So obviously it is going to sense it through a particular type of a sensor. For example, it may be a temperature sensor, humidity sensor, pressure sensor. So any kind of sensing that can be done with the help of through the environment, and that will act as an input by the agent. Then perception provides agent with information about the world they inhabit by interpreting the response of the sensor. Now this perception actually means that if it is an environmental sensor, if it is a temperature sensor, actually real world information about the sensors will be provided by this perception to the agent. That is by interpreting these responses of the sensors. That is how it will go like this. A human agent has eyes, ears, and other organs of senses, and hands and legs and vocal tracts and so on for the actuators. So you can see that the human agents will be having the eyes, ears, and other organs for senses, and it will have hands, legs, and vocal tract and so on for the actuators. So it will be having two things here. One is a sensor and the other one is actuators. So for sensors, what you are expecting is your eyes, ears, and other organs. Whereas as far as the actuators is concerned, you can have the hands, legs, and vocal tracts. A robotic agent might have cameras and infrared range of finders for sensors and various motors for actuators. If the agent is a special robotic agent, like it might be different types of agents are available, like software agents or the robotic agents. So if you consider the robotic agents, then it will have infrared cameras also, and the infrared finders for sensors and various motors for actuators. So depending upon the type of applications you have, the sensors and actuators are going to vary, what kind of sensors and actuators you will be having. So that will depend on that thing. So that is about the robotic agent. Now, if you go with the software agent, it receives keystrokes, file contents, and network packets as sensor inputs, and acts as on the environment by displaying on the screen, writing files, and sending network packets. Now, if it is a software agent, then what it will receive? It will receive the keystrokes, file contents, network packets that will be acting as a sensory inputs, and then that will act as an environment by displaying it on the screen, like writing files and sending network packets. So this is the response. So one is the input, the other one is the response. So input is from the input is been taken by means of sensors through the environment, and second is respond, the agent responds by means of actuators. The job of AI is to design an agent program. अब इसमें AI का कहाँ रोल आता है? That is the most important thing, because अभी तक हमने एजेंट देखा है, हमने देखा है सेंसर्स कैसे काम करता है, एक्चुएटर्स देखा है, एनवायरनमेंट देखा है, लेकिन इसके बीच में कहाँ पर हमारा AI काम करेगा, ये हमको देखना है. The job of AI is to design an agent program that implement the agent function, right? The job of AI is to design an agent program that implement the agent function. So the main important job of AI here is to design the program that will be for the agent, and as the result we can implement the agent function. That is nothing but mapping from percepts to actions. So percept हमने देखा है, percept कहाँ था? यहाँ है. ये percept से लेकर actions तक का जो सफर है, यहाँ से percept से लेकर actions तक, this is nothing but done by AI. So you have to deal with you have to write the agent programs in such a way that it will implement the agent functions, and that will help you to map the percepts to actions. We assume that this program will run on some sort of computing device with physical sensors and actuators, and we call it architecture. Now, where to implement this AI? That is the most important question. If my AI will come into the role, and if we are going to write down the program for the agent program, then where to write this? Because I have only sensors and actuators with me. So there need to be some kind of platform where my AI agent program will be written, and that is nothing but architecture. So there will be definitely an architecture on which the agent program will be written. So what will happen is that agent will be now a combination of two things. One is nothing but the architecture, and the other one is an agent program. Are you getting it? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Getting it?
Yes, sir.
समझ में आ रहा है ना? बिल्कुल मुझे बताते चलो, क्योंकि मुझे एक अंदाजा नहीं आता है फिर. Please let me know if there is any issue, any which you find out like this is the point which we have not understood. Please let me know. Okay, so now once again I'll go with agent, because it's very important point, and we should clearly understand what this agent is and what is the role of AI in this agent. Now there will be different types of agents, like software agents, it might be robotic agents, and there are different agents also there which we have not used here because we don't have that kind of thing in the syllabus. But mostly you know that, you just understand that there are different types of agents like robotic agents, software agents. Now, this intelligent agent is nothing but a computer system with autonomous action in some environment. So obviously autonomous, when the picture comes into the mind, then there is no immediate presence of yours or any other some regular schedule. Now it will be having the software or a hardware it perceives and acts autonomously in the open and dynamic environment. Clear cut एकदम. So यहाँ से क्या होगा, environment से sense किया जाएगा sensor के through, input sense होगा, feature extracts होगा, जो data आया है उसका feature extraction होगा, then the inference engine will be there with the help of which we can implement the learning module, and then we'll have an actuators which will have the action. So the most important thing is that one agent can also give the information to the other agent to offer the benefit of their users. So this is also a very plus point. Now in this we can say that the agent is also called as intelligent agent, and it is also called as a bot, which is nothing but a shortcut of a robot. So agents are nothing but the software entities actually that encapsulate the attributes. It encapsulates the attributes. And what are the attributes? That is autonomy, mobility, sociability, reactivity, proactivity. The agents can be reactive, deliberative, or hybrid type. And the agent is anything that can be viewed as a perceive its environment through sensors and acting upon the environment through actuators. So that means actually agent is having sensors and actuators, where from where the input will be taken from the sensors through the environment, from the environment through the sensors, and then the action will be taken based on the application through actuators. So you can see from the diagram, the environment, this is an agent. You can see the percepts through sensors, then this is the agent which will be having the actuators, and the action will be taken back to the environment. So now what will happen is there, so we can see that the human agent is having eyes, ears, and other organs for sensors, hand, legs, vocal tracts, and so on for the actuators. So इसका मतलब अगर इंटेलिजेंट एजेंट और ह्यूमन एजेंट के बीच में डिफरेंस की बात करें तो ह्यूमन एजेंट्स के पास क्या क्या है. सो ऑब्वियसली ह्यूमन एजेंट के पास आईज है, एयर्स है और अदर ऑर्गन से सेंस करने के लिए. सो वी आर हैविंग 6 to 8 sensors, 6 sensors, that is nothing having the all sensors can be used, and then hands, legs, vocal tracts, and all these things will be for the action, and that is nothing but the actuators. Now similarly, like in human agent, we'll be having the robotic or software agent which will be having some kind of legs, eyes, and they will be also having for actions as well as for the reactions. So a robotic agent might have cameras or infrared range finders for sensors and various motors that can be useful for the actuators. Whereas as far as software agent is concerned, it is having the file contents, network packets as a sensory input, and then it will act on the environment by displaying it on the screen about writing files and sending the network packets. Now, what is the role of AI? The job of AI is nothing but to design an agent program that will implement the agent function, and that will help to map between the percepts and the actions. So we assume that the program will run on some sort of computing device with physical sensors and actuators. So the third part will come as in sensors, actuators plus your architecture, which is nothing but your agent becomes as an programmer, that is AI program plus the architecture on which the AI program can be implemented. So this is how the intelligent agent looks like. This agent is, I feel, one of the most important because you're using bots, which is nothing but the software agent. You can have a robotic agent also. So mostly what we have seen and we are using around is the bot, that is nothing but the software agents, which is not having any kind of mechanical things, but it can be programmed. So this is how it gives an idea. Now we are going to see types of intelligent agents. So there are different types of intelligent agents, out of which we'll be having some of them in the syllabus. So we'll take only those of things. One is a simple reflexive type of intelligent agent. So you can see that the first stage, when the earlier stage of the robots were implemented, those are called as the simple reflexive types of robots. The second is a model based robot. So a little bit of an improvement we can see in reflexive. And now we have a model based intelligent agent. Then we have a goal based now, where the goal was been set. Then utility based now, where it was implemented for a particular utility, like we want to utilize this one, there's such a particular application or utility. And then we have the learning agents, where they have started learning by experiences also. So now this stage, from utility based to learning agent, one thing that has been added here is the learning. So from here to here, if you see that the jump, what we have understood about these types of artificial intelligence or the agents, then the jump is in thinking and learning, understanding the knowledge, then logical reasoning. This is the difference between this and this. So you may understand that where actually we are going. You can just see from if the robots are starting learning by observations or by the previous data or by the learning, then it will be tomorrow we'll be seeing the robots working with us. There will be some laws for the robots. So as you know that there are laws have been also defined, and the first humanoid robot, which is called as Sophia, which has been in Saudi Arabia now, has been given the citizenship. He's the first robot to give us to get a citizenship also. So now where the world is going to go in the coming decade, it lot depends upon what kind of research is going on in artificial intelligence. So these are the intelligent agents types, which we are going to see one by one, and out of which we'll be starting the first as a reflexive or reactive agents. So the reactive agents are, you can see from the figure, we will just start today the reactive agents. The reactive agents are nothing but the software agents that carry out simple tasks of retrieving preset behavior similar to the reflexes. So it's a reactive agent is a very simple software agent. So you can see that there is an environment. So you have perception. So that is nothing percept. And then you have an actuator. So we have already seen in the agent how the agent reacts. So this is the part of an reactive agent. So we know that this is an agent. Now in the earlier figure, which we have seen, this figure, this one. This is the intelligent agent, actually how it reacts or percepts and does and actions with the environment. The same kind of thing is here. Just instead of agent, we are taking this reactive agent. We have a perception, so that is going to be taking the inputs from the environment, and then the actuators will be giving back to the environment. So these two will be having this mapping of perceptron and actuators will take place. Now in between this perceptron and perception and actuators, you have these three blocks. The first one is a state of world. That is nothing but the information about the agent should know. It's like in giving an history. It's like giving an history or giving an feedback. So this is the state of world where you have an information. Then you have action decisions, where the rules are set, and based on the rules, the action will be taken, a decision will be taken, and then the actuators will take an action, which will be given to the environment. So this is a very simple type of an agent, which is called as an reactive agent. Reactive agents do not maintain the internal state, unlike deliberative agents. So deliberative agent, when we'll see, you'll come to know what are the internal states of that thing. It can be simply said that an agent that has no internal state is a reactive agent. So obviously there is no internal state, as in case of deliberative agent, there is an internal state. Reactive agents consume fewer system resources, which is why then they cannot generate results that are good as of those of deliberative agents. So obviously this is a very simple agent. It's like an intelligent agent only. Only the thing is that they have added the action, decision, and rule there. That is only the difference between a normal agent and a reactive agent. So only the decision is taken based on the rule. It is having a state of fault. Otherwise, perception and actuators are already there. Reactive agent consumes fewer system resources, and that's why they cannot give results as the deliberative agents give. It is entirely possible to use few reactive agents in place of deliberative agents in many cases. So now if you want to apply for if you want to implement deliberative agent in many cases, then you can have a little bit of reactive agents, some few reactive agents in place of single deliberative agent. So it's like in bits and pieces में आप reactive agents के 4-5 reactive agents मिलकर एक deliberative agent के जैसे काम हो सकता है. Reactive agents have their limitations though. They cannot just react automatically on the basis of information from the external environment. So this is the limitations of the reactive agents, because they cannot just react automatically. They take actions, they take decisions based on the rules, and that is the information from the system, from the environment. Actually, they cannot react automatically means they have been not learned by, or I could say trained in order to go for the decision basis on the information. So there will be some rules, and based on that rules, it will automatically react. It cannot automatically react on the basis of information from the external environment. So this is what about the reactive agent is. So we will take in the next lecture from the parts. Just a moment, we'll take an attendance.